makeup line, Item Beauty, just launched and it's already facing some controversy. Here is everything we know. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. Addison Rae's makeup brand Item Beauty has officially launched, and we are obsessed. The Insta-worthy line consists of clean beauty makeup products at affordable price points, with chic packaging, of course. While fans and friends of Addison Rae have been beyond excited and supportive of this launch, the new makeup line is currently in the middle of some controversy concerning their packaging. The fashion line Lonely Ghosts founder Indy Blue recently called out Item Beauty and Addison for using her brand's trademark slogan, "I love you, say it back," on Item Beauty's packaging, including the compact mirror for their bronzer that was used to announce this brand. While you might think this is just a coincidence, it's important to note that Addison promoted Lonely Ghost clothing just a few months ago. Which is crazy. However, like you were saying, the clothing that she promoted for Lonely Ghost did not have "I love you, say it back" on it. It had a different slogan on it.
It had a different, and I think we're giving Addison the benefit of the doubt here. I mean, she's 19 years old. She has a million different projects going on. Yeah. She's always getting merch that she's wearing in her different TikTok videos and on social media. This wasn't a partnership. Like, she didn't do a collab with Lonely Ghost. She didn't make merch with them.
Right.
She never did like a post for their page where she modeled for them. They just gave her some merch and she wore it in one of her TikTok videos back in May.
Right, and it's hard. It's like, you know, all these brands, I feel like flattery is, imitation's the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
And I feel like we draw so much inspiration from other brands and make them our own. And I know Addison had a big hand, of course, in like figuring out what this Item Beauty line would be all about, what the ads would be. I don't think she was like, oh, I love this from Lonely Ghost, let's try to incorporate it. I really can't imagine. She's just so authentic herself. I can't imagine she would do that.
Right,
You know?
and it's also important to remember that Addison is the face of Item Beauty. She is the co-founder, so I think her involvement is probably more on, oh, I want a mascara and I want it to have this, this, and this. I don't think she was as heavily involved as people are saying in the whole marketing of it.
Right.
I do think there is a responsibility for it, and I think the responsibility on it goes for the business company, the makeup brand that owns Item Beauty, that is doing the partnership with it, because you know there's a whole team of people. Apparently this partnership, they had made a statement which we'll get into later, but Item Beauty said that this partnership has been in the works for a year, even though for us it seems like it came together overnight. Wow. Yeah. So that a year is more than enough time to do your research. And yes, of course, everything is copy. Carrie Fisher said it best, who you might know as Princess Leia from Star Wars. But she said that everything is copy, and that is very true with art, that, you know, inspiration comes from everything. And I do know that when you are, I mean, I experienced this firsthand when I was designing my book cover for my book. Like, I would look at other books for inspiration, but there is a line between inspiration and like literally copying something word for word. Yeah. And I do think that responsibility is definitely on the shoulders of the makeup line, that I'm sure, you know, should have searched if they're gonna put a slogan on it. Right. Should have seen if it was out there, and they should have been the one to call out, wow, Addison even modeled for this, like did a partnership with this brand. Like that's a little, like, it was more on their shoulders than Addison, because Addison does so many, like, she wears so many like clothes from different brands. Like, there's no way that she remembered that.
It definitely seems a little careless on the business side of things. Again, like you said, I agree. I think Addison's more into the creative and what kind of products she wanted to put out. And you know what she wanted included in those products as far as the slogans and you know the advertisement creative behind it. Yeah, I think it definitely falls back on Item Beauty. Yeah. And I mean, "I love you, say it back" is such a slogan. I feel that's like everyone says it, or like it's so common. It's not something that's like, ooh, super creative. Like, who thought of that? So I feel like, you know, she should have looked that up. The company should have looked that up and made sure that that wasn't being used anywhere, you know?
Right. I mean, it's kind of like you could look at the Nike slogan, "Just do it." Like, that is a common phrase that everyone says it, but Nike uses it as their slogan. So like Adidas couldn't come out and be like, "Adidas, just do it," because Nike's already doing it. Right. It's also important to note that Lonely Ghost is not a makeup brand. It is a fashion brand. So they only work with apparel, and I guess now coolers. They just did a partnership with Igloo coolers, but they haven't done makeup to our knowledge. And Item Beauty is a makeup line, but still, I mean, if you're using it, they are now saying that "I love you, say it back." They have apparently trademarked that slogan, so it is there. So there is some like legal issues in it. And again, this is really her marketing team and Item Beauty, and I'm slipping on the brand that owns Item Beauty, but it's a bigger makeup brand.
Right, yes.
So they have the resources to do this, and they should have done a better fact check on it before moving forward.
Definitely. I feel like now, especially, there's so many brands out there using so many different slogans. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, we're in the world of social media, it's like everyone wants their own beauty brand or clothing line. It's like we feel like we can start all these things, which is great, but a lot of, I feel like, copying and, you know, all of that stuff kind of comes into play.
And I think Addison will survive this. I mean, we saw something similar happen with Kylie Jenner when she released her lip kit. There was apparently another makeup artist, and she was getting called out for using the, you know, the like how she has the lip gloss and it kind of is like dripping down. Like that,
Yes,
that
I
actual graphic design was used by a smaller makeup line.
Right.
And I believe there was some issue back and forth, but I mean, years later, we still have Kylie Jenner lip kits. And I really will say too that I think from just glancing, we haven't tried Addison Rae's Item Beauty products yet, but just looking at what's available and what's in these products and the price point, I mean, I have a feeling that this is going to be a beauty item that people are going to use over and over again. And I personally want to order some of it and try it out because, I mean, I don't think this takes away from what Addison is doing. But again, I do feel like, I mean, this almost seems like something that her people should, you know, do, like, I don't know, be more on top of. I don't feel like it's on her.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot going on behind the scenes with her and her team. She's
Yeah.
like, whoa, like how did this, you know, because it does, at the end of the day, like it is, when you're the face of something, it falls back on that person.
It does.
You know?
It does, unfortunately, even though I don't think this was malicious, I don't think this was intentional on Addison's part. We love Addison. We are her biggest cheerleaders and supporters, and we want her to succeed. So not only did Addison work with Lonely Ghost, that catchphrase is everywhere on the brand's Instagram page, so much so that when Lonely Ghost did a collab with Igloo Coolers recently, they put "I love you, say it back" in big bold print on the coolers, less than a month ago. This phrase is also on Lonely Ghost's Instagram bio, website, and even on the bio of the brand's owner, Indie Blue. When TikTok Room posted the Item Beauty and Lonely Ghost both using the same slogan, Indy, the founder of Lonely Ghost, commented saying that she is, quote, mainly sad because Lonely Ghost is a small brand and she was so excited when Addison posted her clothes, as Addison is her little sister's hero. Then she added, quote, so for her to wear our clothes publicly and then use our catchphrase for her own makeup line 2 months later makes me heartbroken emoji. Which we
I get
relate
it.
to and
Yeah.
we feel.
I totally get it. I think it's hard, you know, especially she said, "You look, I'm a small business," and it's really exciting when someone like Addison Rae, or I'm going to use Kourtney Kardashian as an example, you know, reps the brand. I think here's the thing though, Addison, if you guys watch her Instagram stories, which I'm sure you do, she is posting all of these things that companies are sending her every day, and it's a lot of stuff. So I think she's getting the things and wearing them and being like, yay, but I don't think she's like, oh, like really looking into every company and every slogan that every company has. You know, I feel like this was, like we said, very innocent move on Addison's part.
Yeah, and I do think it's also interesting because I feel like when something like this happens, we're so quick to lump it together with other people, other influencers who have done similar things like that I think were intentional. There's a great Instagram page called Influencers Truth that shows this and exposes this. And there's a fashion blogger who we wore what?
Yes.
And so she recently got under fire for designing her own face masks that she ripped off totally from someone that she was like, and they even had the receipts of her like ordering the face masks from the girl, and she's the one designing it. So like something like that, it's like that is the responsibility of the influencer.
Right.
In this case of Addison, I really do feel like this was just people not doing their job and not doing the full research.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Something else I want to talk about this. So her launch yesterday was really cool to see all of her friends celebrate her.
I know, yeah.
And she sent out these adorable cupcakes with her face on it and Item Beauty and flowers and product to all of her really good friends. We saw David Dobrik received it. I will say it's important to note that and we're going to do a more full report on this later, that we haven't seen much action happening with Bryce Hall and Addison Rae.
Yeah, I mean, he has been posting about his merch. He's been, you know, really repping Party Animal U.
Yep.
But not once has he said anything about Addison Rae's Item Beauty line. In fact, he was recently asked, literally last night.
Last night he was at Saddle Ranch. Yep.
Yeah, he was asked about the controversy, and he was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So that's kind of interesting because I feel like if Addison and Bryce were on speaking terms every day, like they used to be a couple weeks ago, he would know that this is a thing right now because it's kind of it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It was in 17 magazine. It's on TikTok Room. I'm sure it's something that's probably stressing Addison out.
Definitely.
But yeah, so if he was in her life more, he did tell. I mean, granted, the Hollywood Fix asked the question in a weird way that I feel like we wouldn't even understand what he was saying.
He didn't know the facts.
And also, Bryce did say that him and Addison are really, really good friends. I do think they've taken their relationship offline since the controversy from a couple of weeks ago. ago. But I did find it interesting. I mean, because at first when we were seeing all the friends get the product and get the launch product and posting about it and congratulating Addison, we were like, oh, well, maybe it's just her female friends. But then when David Dobrik got it, we're like, well, why didn't Bryce get it? And if Bryce, did he get it? Maybe he got it. Why is he not posting it?
Yeah.
Why isn't he not showing her support?
Yeah.
He was wearing his Bad Bleep face mask at Saddle Ranch, where he did say his Addison's merch, but it would have been cooler if he, gave her makeup brand a shout out, because it's a huge milestone for her.
It's a huge milestone.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big deal to like create your own brand. I even remember when Kylie Jenner did this. I mean, this is what really brought her from just famous from her family, to like self-made, as she says, but billionaire, like global billionaire.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, she was on the cover of Forbes for being a self-made billionaire, and it is self-made because it's not just it's the money outside of the Kardashian family. It's the money she made from this line has made her a billionaire. And granted, Addison does have that Forbes title as well as being the #1 most highest earning TikTok star, which is amazing. But you're right. I mean, for Kylie, that is really what took her from being a Kardashian adjacent, from the youngest Kardashian Jenner clan member to like a self-made businesswoman that even at one point, like, Kim was like trying to Kim is idolizing and trying to be like.
Yeah, I know.
So
she was like, Kylie just overtook
she's like, I love Kylie's style. I want to be just like it. I'm gonna have a makeup brand too.
Yeah, it's so true. So yeah, I feel like that being said, like, Addison, this is like this is a big deal for her. This is a moment where she goes from influencer to TikTok star to businesswoman, beauty guru.
Yep.
She's probably very educated on makeup, what goes in it, what she wants in hers, clean beauty, all that good stuff. And that's a big deal. I think always we see influencers go from just that to business people all the time, and it changes the game for them.
I mean, look at Rihanna. Rihanna Fenty is like one of the most successful makeup lines, and that was, she's like, I'm not just an artist, I'm also a businesswoman.
Right.
And I do think that we're going to see more and more of that from Addison. I think there's going to be more business ventures, and I feel like this makeup is going to explode. And if you guys have ordered it, let us know, because we want to hear if you've tried it. We want to hear what you guys think. I think I'm going to order some today.
No, I think we should.
Let's just like try it out on here. Yeah.
I feel like, just before we move off of the subject, I feel like she's going to do item beauty, moves into item hair. She has the best hair.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Don't you see that?
I do see that, although I guess there is something that she might have to figure out, because she did recently have a partnership with L'Oreal and was doing like L'Oreal hair stuff, or Garnier or something. So there might need to be a beat before she does it. But I agree. I feel like if she did come out with like also affordable price point products like that are, and I think Item Beauty, the fact that Item Beauty only launched with like, I want to say 8 products, I feel like it's going to expand for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Exciting.
Very exciting stuff.
So Indy, Lonely Ghost founder, went on to add that she is sure Addison wasn't behind this decision of the branding, and that she's confident that the last thing she'd do is intentionally steal something. But it does not, but it does deserve to be called out. Just because we're not getting any response from them privately. It's also important to note that the merch Addison wore back in May from Lonely Ghost was a bright pink t-shirt with the words "Believe in Ghosts" on it, not the company's slogan, as you can see in Addison's TikToks from May when she did a collab with the fashion line. So she wasn't repping the "I love you, say it back" part of Lonely Ghost.
Right, and
so.
there is, I mean, of course there's the possibility that "I love you, say you back," the slogan was probably on the packaging, but like, how is she, like, to me it's like, that's less, we don't have concrete evidence of that. Also, Addison receives, I mean, if you look at her Instagram story, she gets packages from brands every day, and not just like one, like multiple ones, and she always like shouts them out, she always like shares them. So I don't think that this was an intentional thing at all, but I will say, very, very suspicious that Item Beauty and whoever is behind the makeup line, they did not make a statement on this until
it launched.
Until Lonely Ghost made a stink about it.
Oh, wow.
So the reason why, and I think that, and she even says that Indie Blue didn't even want to like address this, but the only reason she addressed it publicly is because she tried addressing it privately by reaching out to Item, and they ignored. And it wasn't until the story was on 17 that Item Beauty made a statement, which we're about to get into, to 17 magazine. So again, this is not on Addison, this is really on the brand that she's working with and the bigger makeup company behind Item Beauty. It's them who I think they realize they messed up, and I think they should have either owned up to the mistake, but they
handled it.
They handled it in a weird way.
You know what I'm thinking now that you've said that? I feel like they got these messages from them, but because it was more on them and not on Addison. Addison's the boss. At the end of the day, like, this is a partnership with her.
Right.
And I didn't know what Item Beauty was or the company that owns Item Beauty before Addison started partnering with them. So I feel like they were like, we're not going to make a stink about this. Like, we're going to win anyway. It's just not a big deal.
Right.
We don't want to like stress Addison out, make her mad, make her want to walk away from this in any way. So maybe that's why they never brought it up until, you know, Lonely Ghost was like, no, we're going to make this a public stink.
Well, and we're going to get into the statement that Item Beauty said. I do think it's not enough. I think the way that they should have handled it, instead of they denied it, which is fine. Like, that's their story, that's their narrative. And there is a chance that they didn't know that this existed. But I do think what they should have done is they should have apologized. They should have been, we're sorry for the oversight. We weren't aware of this. Now we're aware of it. We will make sure to take that slogan off any future items.
Absolutely.
And we'll try to take it down from whatever marketing we did, because it's a small fix. It's really not
it's
a
a small
big
fix, and especially
thing.
if it's trademarked. If I Love You Say It Back is trademarked by Lonely Ghost, there's nothing any brand out there can do to take that.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think I agree. I think this could have been handled so much differently. I feel like behind the scenes, Addison's pretty pissed.
Oh yeah.
I would be if I was her.
I think it's awkward and uncomfortable for her. I do hope that her and Indy get to have some type of conversation. I mean, I feel like Addison didn't mean for this to happen, and I feel like she's probably embarrassed and sad about it.
Yeah.
But because this story is everywhere, it's not just that's why we're bringing it to you, because we've seen it so many places.
Right.
And it's a bittersweet story because we're so proud of Addison and her makeup line, and we love it, and we want to try it.
We'll be buying
We'll be buying it. But it's also, I think it's important to note this because people are talking about it, and hopefully this is a reminder to other people doing collabs to really, be careful and make sure that you're not, accidentally, because I think it was an accident for sure.
Definitely, yeah. I think it was too. I mean, I also think like we find brands that we really love and like the branding of things, and we want to like, I love the brand of Cosmo, like I genuinely do. In my website, my blog, like I was like, I kind of want to like imitate that, but not have it be like that.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of people draw inspiration from things like that, whether it's their makeup line or hair care.
No, it's so true.
An Instagram post. So, it's
true.
easy to do, but there's definitely a fine line between imitating and straight up copying.
Absolutely. Well, so Item did speak out about these claims and denied that they stole that phrase from the fashion line. In a statement to 17, Item Beauty said, quote, "At Item, we support, lift up, and foster a community of positivity. Item has been in development since last year, and this phrase was concepted internally when Item's creative director shared that she says, 'I love you, say it back,' to her 4-year-old son each night before going to bed. It was the impetus for the phrase and placing it on a mirror and some interior packaging. It reflects a daily message of affirmation. We have no plans to place that phrase on apparel." And it seems like the comment section of TikTok Room agrees with this, as when TikTok Room posted this controversy, one fan commented, "Everyone says I love you, say it back. Shut up, you're just making up stuff," while another added, "Ain't everyone and their mom say that?" Which is true, and that literally is the case.
That's
right
the problem,
there.
I think.
It is a common phrase, but I do think yes, they're not using it on apparel, but I do, they're using it to market their brand.
They
just
trademarked it.
just like Lonely Ghost did. So I feel like they should more of an apology. I think was needed for that.
Totally. And again, bringing it back to like it's a small brand, small business. Like I feel like Indy was very transparent about how I get it. She's this big star now, but let's don't take away the limelight from what I'm trying to make my brand. I totally respect that on Lonely Ghost side and Indie side. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people say this. That's what we kind of talked about in the beginning. A lot of people say, "I love you, say it back." So I get if they were sitting in a meeting about brands and what to put on this Item Beauty, as a slogan. I feel like that could come up and they'd be like, "Oh, it's cute, let's do it," not even knowing, regardless of the fact that Addison had gotten close from Lonely Ghost.
Yeah, so I mean, I do feel like Addison is innocent in this. I think it's important to note. I definitely think this doesn't prevent us from supporting her brand.
Definitely not.
I just feel bad for Lonely Ghost, and I feel bad for Indy, who's the creator of that brand, and it's a small company. And I hope that she gets some type of better apology from Item or some piece with Addison, and maybe the two can end up doing a collab down the line, like an actual collab, and perhaps that will be the answer.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'm here for that. I mean, Yeah, I think it's really cool when like fashion brands, clothing lines kind of do collabs with beauty brands.
Yeah.
Because it's two separate things, but it's like we're all doing makeup and we want to look
We're
good,
all-
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
of course.
So I feel like that is always really, really cool.
And I do love how Indy said, you know, call out, because I really think that if we can be trying to get away from cancel and call out, I think it's so much better, because call out allows for like a room for apology and doing better.
Absolutely, definitely. So yeah, I'm really excited. Today I'm 100% going on this website.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna get the mascara. I mean, I hope there's like a lip gloss.
There is a lip gloss.
Her lips always look so good.
Yeah, the products she has on it are definitely what she is known for. So it's a really great eyebrow brush. There's a really great lip gloss. There's a really great like bronzer, powder, and of course mascara. So we will be checking it out.
Definitely.
Well, guys, what do you guys think about this slogan controversy? Do you think Item Beauty's statement is acceptable or not? And have you tried Item Beauty yet, or do you have those items coming to you?
Let us know.
Yeah,
if you guys
let us
like
know.
them.
Let us know. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and keep it here on Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.